Good morning, Findlay Dreamers.
Good morning, Mrs. Adams.
And good morning, Findlay Scholars.
Good morning, Mr. Miller.
Good morning, Findlay family.
Good morning, Mr. Kirby. And we have on Jordan, Zizi, and Kennedy. Thanks for being with us today.
Well, have you noticed that I changed my background? There's a special reason. It's because this is Earth Week. And so I tried to choose a picture that we don't usually see in Iowa. We don't have mountains in Iowa. We have cliffs and hills. But the third grade students are preparing public safety announcements, and they are going to be sharing what they have learned about taking care of our Earth. So I hope we can put some of those in our newsletter, share some of them with the rest of the school. Do you know, it looked to me this morning when it was raining, do you know it looked like at one point it was snowing because it was so cold today? That's what's so great about our Earth, the climate, the weather, we're taking care of it. And I can't wait to celebrate Earth Day on Thursday.
Wow, me either. We got a lot of things planned for that day. I know that for sure. With the curriculum and with some other groups that we're working with. Today, as always, it's Monday. And we have our participation rate. It's quite good. It's quite good. And here are the above 80% participation rates. Mrs. Osborne, Miss T, and Mr. Williams. And now the long, long list above 90. Mrs. Boudreau's class, Mrs. Campero's class, Mrs. Crawford's class, Mrs. Dow's class, Mrs. Font's class, Mrs. Hall's class, Mrs. Jink's class, Mrs. McDermott's class, Mrs. Brevard's class, Miss Simmons' class, Mrs. Smith's class, Mrs. Spricer's class, Miss Stender's class, and Mr. Sun's class. And the top four, I had to do four because they were so close again. Mrs. Crawford, first, 97.78. Mrs. Boudreau, 96.84. Mr. Sund, 96.36. And Mrs. Font, 96.23. More and more students are participating on a consistent basis every day. We applaud you for getting here with the support of everybody out there that's helping you get here. So thank you so much. And your participation rate in class, we can see it even more so every day, especially when you're working on all these great groups. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Miller. That's a great reminder on a Monday. I counted 14 classes that you listed above that 90% participation rate. Findlay's always had students participating at very high levels. So I think that's great. I think maybe there's a challenge for next week that maybe by next Monday, Mr. Miller's talking about all of our classes over 90%. That'd be great. Of course, we know reality. Some things prevent us. Some things are beyond our control, and that's all right. What matters is that when you're with us, you're doing it right. And we know you are. And we know that you believe in that. Working hard, learning to read, all that practice. And I see those students, some of those first graders, try and try and try again, and they are doing their best. And that is what we can ask of all of our Findlay students. Speaking of our Findlay students, I see a couple of familiar faces here. I wonder if they have anything they'd like to share.
I have a shout out.
Shout out.
I have a shout out for everybody in the school for doing the right thing and not making bad choices.
Excellent. Thanks for noticing that, Zaria. Kennedy?
I have a shout out.
Shout
Shout
out.
out.
I have a shout out for all the class being kind.
Great.
Excellent.
Mr. Kirby, could I interject something real quick?
Please do.
Yes, I have something hot off the press. That's why I have to name it. I always get things in sometimes right on the spot. Kennedy's class, Mrs. Spicer's class, I was informed just now, they got 100 green paws from last week alone. 100.
Wow. That's some incredible breaking news.
I know. I just thought that was so great with the participation rate, engagement, and everything going on in there. Thank you again.
Yeah, great job, Miss Spritzer's class. You know, that resilience and that continued growth and everybody trying and trying again is so great, because the future for these children and for your lives ahead is so bright and it's so promising because of all of your work and effort and all of the great attitudes that come out of these students every day. That's going to pay off. That's going to pay off where you will find your opportunity and you will have a great life going forward. And maybe you might find yourself in college. So, how about a college cheer? Are you ready? We're going to do it. It may not be quite as loud as we're used to. So, listen carefully. 1, 2, ready, go. 2, 4, 6, 8.